Dear students, welcome to Physiology Practical class. Today we shall discuss an important medical device called stethoscope. According to certain researches, hanging the stethoscope around the neck yields the physician highest degree of faith and trustworthiness of the patient when compared to other devices. So this is that important instrument. A stethoscope is an acoustic medical device used for auscultation or listening to the internal sounds of human body. It is used to hear over the sounds produced by the activities of lung, heart, and intestine, and it is used to hear the blood flow in large arteries and veins. Along with the sphygmomanometer, it is used for measurement of blood pressure. As per history, it was first invented in 1816 by René Laennec in Paris. Then the very first model it consisted of a wooden tube and it was monaural, means it was a single ear was used for auscultation. Laennec called his device stethoscope or chestoscope, and he called its use it is to mediate auscultation. In 1851, Irish physician Arthur Laird invented the binaural stethoscope, that the model that we see today. Binaural means when it is used, both the ears are used for auscultation. There are 8 important parts of a stethoscope, namely ear tips, ear tube, tubing, headset, stem, chest piece, diaphragm, and bell. Here you can see the well-level diagram of stethoscope. The ear tips of stethoscope are the parts made up of rubber or silicon that goes into the user's ear, where they receive the sound that comes from chest piece. In this diagram, in this pic, this ear tips are seen here detached from the stethoscope because they are removable in certain models. Then ear tubes. Ear tubes are the metal or steel part that are carved and that follow after ear pieces, and they are made up of steel or metal, as I told you. And then these ear tubes connect the earpieces with the tubings. The ear tubes are designed to isolate and transfer sound to the user's ear with minimum quality loss. Then comes the tubing. The soft, flexible line of stethoscope is known as its tubing. It is made up of plastic or PVC. The purpose of this tubing is to maintain and transfer the sound that is captured by the chest piece and send it to the ear tubes, where it can make its way to the user's ear. There are 2 models available according to tubing: single tube stethoscope and dual tube stethoscope. Here you are seeing in this figure, in this pic, the dual tube stethoscope. Headset is the combined component of upper half of the stethoscope, which includes the ear tubes, tension spring, and the ear tips. This allows sound to flow efficiently into the ear canal with minimum disturbance. Stem. The stem is basically the metal steel part of the stethoscope that connects the stethoscope tubings to the chest piece. It also allows the user to click between the chest pieces, diaphragm, and bell by turning the chest piece and clicking it. This the chest piece of the stethoscope is composed of the connected stem, diaphragm, or bell. Placing the diaphragm or bell end of the chest piece on the patient's chest, back, or stomach. One can initiate the process of auscultation. Diaphragm is the large circular end of the chest piece, and it is used to listen over a wider area of the patient's body and pick up higher frequency sounds than bell. The bell is the smaller circular end of the chest piece, and this side of the device focuses on the narrower range and listen for the lower frequency sound that may not be easily detected by the diaphragm. Working is very simple. The sound that are created from the patient's body parts are picked up through the diaphragm or bell end of the stethoscope, which is pressed against the patient's body part, and from the chest piece, which houses the diaphragm or bell. The sound then travels through the tubing and into the ear tubes before being passed into the user's ear, where they can hear the patient and uh, heartbeat, lung sounds, and other internal sounds. Technique of usage. Starting from the top of the stethoscope, the earpieces should be held in both the hands so that they point towards the bridge of your nose. This is because the ear canals are angled slightly forwards. Second is to hold the stethoscope headset in front of your face and see whether you can see the holes in the earpieces. If you can, again it is the wrong way round. Because the earpieces should face slightly away from you when the hole will not be seen, they should be out of sight. If one is not sure which side is currently active, they should tap the diaphragm lightly with fingertip. In diaphragm mode, the tapping will be heard very loudly through the earpieces. The stethoscope should be placed against different points of the body. Ideally, it should always be against the skin because even a thin layer of clothing will impede the performance. Let's start the auscultation of the chest. Before starting the auscultation of chest, we should look for the following conditions to maintain these prerequisites. Number one is the noise. The ambient noise might interfere the heart and lung sound, hence the environment should be quiet. The environment should be warm so that the patient feels comfortable while the upper part of the body is being exposed. Usually we disrobe the patient before examination and the patient may catch the cold and they start shivering. That's why the environment must be warm before you start the auscultation. Then appropriate lighting is must because especially when we are going to measure the BP, because we have to read the scale and we have to read the minute calibrations for, and which will be not possible in case of dim light or no light. So the environment, the surrounding in which the auscultation is to be done must be quite warm and have proper lighting. To auscultate the lung for the breath sounds. First, you should ask the patient to disrobe, and this will allow the stethoscope to be placed directly on the chest. Because if there will be certain clothing in between or woolens, then they will create a friction after breathing, during breathing, and they may create additional sounds that will confuse the diagnosis. Hence, it is better to disrobe the patient so that the stethoscope will be allowed to place directly on the skin, not on the cloth. Make sure the patient sits upright in a relaxed position and wherever it is possible. Instruct the patient to breathe a little deeper than normal through the mouth during auscultation of lung. The bell or the diaphragm of the stethoscope is then placed against the chest wall according to the instructions of giving examination. Auscultation of the lung should be systematic, including lobes of the anterior, lateral, and posterior chest. The examiner should begin at the top, compare side with side, and work towards the lung's bases. The examiner should listen to at least one ventilatory cycle at each position of the chest. One ventilatory cycle is composed of one expiratory phase and one inspiratory phase, not shorter than that. At each point, you should wait until one ventilatory cycle is completed, then you should move to the other point over the chest. The examiner should identify four characteristics of breath sound: pitch, amplitude, distinctive characteristics, and duration of the inspiratory sound compared with the expiratory sound. Technique: during auscultation, stethoscope chest piece is placed on these important points. First of all, at 2 centimeters superior to medial one third of clavicle, where apex of the lung is found. Then the superior lobes uh, are found at the anterior and posterior aspect of the chest, at the second intercostal space or mid-clavicular line. Then inferior lobes bilaterally are found at the sixth intercostal space in the mid-axillary line and posteriorly between T3 and T10. Third thoracic vertebrae and 10th thoracic vertebrae. Middle lobe will be found in the anterior only fourth intercostal space, mid-clavicular line, because at the left it will be there is no middle lobe. Then auscultate from side to side and from top to bottom. Omit the areas covered by scapulae. Scapulae or the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades are thick bones, and the stethoscope should not be kept over scapulae during the auscultation, because no sound will be heard over there. Compare one side to the other looking for asymmetry and note the location and quality of the sound you hear. Let's take up what are the normal breath sounds. There are two kinds of normal breath sounds. Number one, vesicular breath sound. It is heard over the thorax and it is low pitched and softer than bronchial breathing. And in this sound, the expiratory phase is shorter than the inspiratory phase without any pause between the two. The second is the bronchial breath sound. It is heard over the trachea and large principal bronchi, and it is high pitched, louder, and where inspiration and expiratory phases both are equal with a pause in between. If we draw the diagram, then they look like the adjoining figure. Then comes the abnormal breath sound. There are certain abnormal breath sound that you don't have to deal with. Still, you may assess that if the intensity of breath sound is not equal on the both sides, it's not symmetric, and in the intensity of the vesicular sound is highly increased and of the bronchial sound is decreased, then this indicate different pathologies. Similarly, the symmetry, if the vesicular sounds are not symmetric on both the side of the lung, then they indicate certain abnormalities or diseases. So they will indicate the breath sounds are not normal. Similarly, if the bronchial breathing is found over the lung parenchyma, it is also indication of consolidation, cavitation, atelectasis, constriction, pneumothorax, pleural effusion, etc. Different pathologies. So, but here we have to, in physiology, we have to deal with only healthy subjects. That's why abnormal breath sounds are not the much concern. This is the observation table, and you have to make observation table where you will mark the name, age, and gender. Never mention the name of the subject, just the code and the age and the gender. Then break this row into different rows. The type of breath sound: number one, VBS is vesicular breath sound and bronchial breath sound is VBS. Whenever you found VBS, you should mention the site where you are listening. What was the pitch of the sound? What is the character? And is there any pause between the inspiratory phase and the expiratory phase? Similarly, we have to record these things with for bronchial breath sound, and we have to take 10 such observations for physiology practical, and then complete our observation table. If all the rest sounds are normal in their character, then the result will be the rest sound of the selected subjects are found to be normal in character. Hence, the respiratory functions are found to be normal. If not so, then you have to mention special cases. Next is to auscultate the chest for hard sounds. It should be noted that auscultation comes after palpation and the patient is normally lying comfortably at 45-degree angle with their chest region fully exposed. There are four main regions of interest for auscultation of heart. The four pericardial areas are examined with diaphragm side of the chest piece, including aortic region. It is between second and third intercostal spaces at the right sternal border. Second is pulmonary region. It is found between second and third intercostal space at the left sternal border. Then tricuspid region between the third, fourth, fifth and sixth intercostal spaces at the left sternal border. Mitral region near the apex of the heart between the fifth and sixth intercostal space in the mid-clavicular line. The four pericardial areas relate to heart sounds and can detect various abnormalities in the heart such as valve stenosis, incompetencies and so on and so on. Characteristics of heart sound. The first heart sound, also called as S1. It is longer, dull sound produced due to the closure of AV valves, and this sound resembles the slang lub. Second heart sound, or S2. It is sharp, shorter sound. It is produced due to simultaneous closure of semilunar valves. This resembles the slang dub. Third heart sound, or S3, it is audible by stethoscope in 60% of the normal subjects only. And fourth heart sound, or S4, it is heard just before the S1, but it is not audible by stethoscope. It is heard by using cardiophonogram. Then comes the murmur. Any abnormal heart sound or any abnormality in the heart sounds due to turbulence of blood flow is called as the murmur. ऑब्जर्वेशन टेबल आपको इस तरह बनानी है. एक सब्जेक्ट लिया, उसका एज एंड जेंडर डाला, कोड डाला, उसके अंदर 5 चीज़ें देखी. फर्स्ट हार्ट साउंड, अगर वो ऑडिबल है तो लिखा ऑडिबिलिटी पॉजिटिव. स्प्लिटिंग है या नहीं लिख दिया माइनस और प्लस. नेचर वही स्लो लॉन्ग डल साउंड है या शॉर्ट शार्प और साउंड है. सेकंड की ऐसी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स लिखी. थर्ड की लिखी अगर ऑडिबल है. फोर्थ में लिख दिया ऑडिबल नहीं है बाय स्टेथोस्कोप. मरमर कोई एबनॉर्मल साउंड अगर आपको मिली तो लिख दिया मरमर पॉजिटिव, और उसका कुछ और नहीं देखना है, ऑडिबिलिटी ही देखनी है सिर्फ. इस तरह से आप 5 सब्जेक्ट्स के 5 हेल्दी सब्जेक्ट्स के ऑब्जर्वेशंस लेंगे. Results. The first and second heart sounds are audible by stethoscope with normal nature and no splitting. The third and fourth heart sounds are inaudible by stethoscope. No murmur was heard during this examination, hence the cardiac functions are supposed to be normal. This is the result if everything is found to be normal. In case of abnormalities, you have to mark it. Next is to observe bowel sounds by stethoscope. As peristalsis moves the chyme along the bowel, grumbling sounds are heard, noises are heard indicating that the bowels are active. For auscultation of bowel sounds, the abdomen is divided into 4 quadrants. The right upper quadrant, the right lower quadrant, the left upper quadrant and the left lower quadrant, like this. This is the whole of the abdomen is divided into 4 areas by 2 lines crossing at the umbilicus. Listen over each quadrant for at least 5 minutes using this diaphragm of the stethoscope. No bowel and obstruction above the area of the intestine. Here no bowel sound आना चाहिए. अगर कोई bowel sound आपको सुनाई नहीं दिया, इसका मतलब है कोई obstruction है. Then hypoactive vowel sounds are considered as one every 3 to 5 minutes. अगर एक्टिविटी वावल साउंड कम आ रहे हैं तो आप उस सिचुएशन में कहेंगे जब 5 मिनट से 3 मिनट में एक 3 मिनट में या 5 मिनट में एक वावल साउंड सुनाई दे. ये कॉमन है इन कॉन्स्टिपेशन, एंजाइटी और गैस्ट्रोएंटेराइटिस. हाइपर एक्टिव, ये आमतौर पर जिस पार्ट का ब्लॉकेज है इंटेस्टीन का, उससे पहला वाला पार्ट यानी प्रॉक्सिमल टू द ब्लॉकेज, वहाँ पे हाइपर एक्टिव बाबल साउंड्स आएंगे. ये एक डिफेंसिव मैकेनिज्म होता है ताकि आप जो फॉलोइंग ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन है उसको खोलने के लिए, उस तब उसको ठीक करने के लिए पिछली हिस्सा आंत का वो हाइपर एक्टिव हो जाता है. तो दीज आर द थिंग्स जो आपको आमतौर पर मिलेंगी. इसकी ऑब्जर्वेशन टेबल ऐसे लिखेंगे. द बबल साउंड्स आर ऑडिबल बाय स्टेथोस्कोप इन डैश which quadrant with the frequency of dash per minute. The bubble sounds of the selected subjects are found to be normal. You should write as a result if all are found to be normal. Normal means at least 2 sounds per 5 minutes. So this is all about stethoscope and its uses, and measurement of blood pressure will be discussed later with the help of stethoscope. Thank you very much.